Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So we're on Pauri 22. In the previous Pauri, Babaji had talked about that we don't know how the world was created. Kavan Suvela Vakt Kavan, Kavan Thit Kavan Var. And it had concluded with that the only person that knows about the time and date and var of when the world was created is the creator, and the rest are all guesses. In this one, furthering that thought, Guruji talks about the creation, the worlds that are out there, the galaxies, the universe. Again, the underlying theme is the same, that there is no way we can even fathom, understand, count those worlds. And the concluding line kind of says it says it all. Nanak vadda aakhiye aape jane aap. At the end of all the calculations, all the guesses, all the counting, all the numbers, you just say, Vaheguru Ji, you are great, you are infinite. Vadda here is infinite, great, big, whatever you want to, however you want to translate it. You know it and we don't. Nanak Vadda, and you are the one who knows, and the rest of us are just caught up in calculations and numbers. And just like in the previous Pauri, Babaji had talked about the two different thought processes of the two different mainstream faiths at the time, the Hindus and the Muslims. This is what they think, this is what they think, and then he says, what I say is this, that just live in Vismar, just live in wonder. So here too, he's talking about what the Kitabs say, what the Puran says, and he says that Patala Patal, Lak Agasa Agas, Odak Odak Pal Thake, Ved Kahan Ikvat. So there is this one viewpoint of the Vedas, and that is that there are innumerable galaxies, innumerable worlds. So Akas and Patal, they are supposed to be the upper regions and the nether regions. But really, what some of the authoritative figures in Sikhi have said is that they really refer to, there is no such thing as Patal. It really is when the earth revolves, the same galaxies kind of move as the earth moves, and you see some of them from a different perspective. Those that are above you are now below you. It doesn't really matter, how one interprets it. The basic thing is that there are galaxies beyond galaxies, stars beyond stars, worlds beyond worlds, and after getting into the calculations of it, they recognize one thing, that the calculation will end, but the vastness of the universe is beyond measure, beyond your numbers will end, because it's beyond numbers, it's infinite. Patala Patal.
What is the literal meaning of Patal though?
Patal is supposed to be the netherworlds. Dunya jari thalle hai, kuch utte hai, kuch thalle hai.
Underground?
There are worlds under us in the ground.
Patal.
And really, there is no above.
I thought hell was there, but Indian also had patals there.
But if you think about it, considering that everything is in motion, right? So some things appear above and some below, and really everything is moving. Yeah, it's everything is in orbit, right? Everything is moving all the time, and depends what perspective you have. That brings me to another point, which is a little bit of a sidebar, but it's important to say that everything is perspective. And there is only one absolute truth. And we fight over perspectives. That's what wars, that's what battles, that's what conflicts are about. Your perspective and mine, they're conflicting. And in reality, the truth is somewhere else, because all our perspectives are limited, because our vision is limited, our way of thinking is limited. So beyond all this, Babaji says, Orak Orak Pal Thake Ved Kan Ikvat. This is their viewpoint. This is one way of looking at it, that there are innumerous or luck patal ne and lak akas ne. Another interpretation is that there are worlds and worlds, but within those worlds, perceive, or lak is dekhna, perceive the reality in those worlds. So however you look at it, it's that it's beyond calculation. That's the key thought over here. They are beyond
Luck is seen in that sense rather than 100,000.
yeah, luck is, yeah, some, I don't remember who, but they have. So this is poetry.
Luck has a huge number, seems more consistent with the rest.
Exactly. It seems more consistent with that. And it yeah. So I just wanted to put it out there that some people interpret it like that. And so this is one way that they look at it. This is Ved Kahan Ikwa, that's what they're saying. And then Sahas Atara Kahan Kateba Aslu Iktat.
This is one thing the Vedas.
Well,
I have also seen an interpretation that says the Vedas say there's only one reality.
Exactly. This is, I think what it is Guru Sahib is presenting different viewpoints, different schools of thought, so to speak. And yes, eventually the Vedantic knowledge also taps into the vastness and the wisdom of the Vedas is that this energy is unknowable, it's fathomless. It's very similar to Sikhi. Sas Atara Kahan Kateba Aslu Iktat. Now the Katebs, the scriptures of the other faith, they talk about thousands, 18,000 worlds. Sahas Atara Kahan Kateba, and they say that there are 18,000 worlds. And Anya Dunya hai gyane. Aslu Iktat. But at the end, in all of these, there is just one reality. The way I'm looking at it is Babaji saying that you may look at numbers, you may try to quantify it, but it doesn't matter what anybody's interpretation or the end number is. In the end, there is one reality, there is one essence, and that is non-quantifiable.
And he's also talking about the infiniteness of
the universe, the infiniteness.
And there's one reality, and
Yeah.
the rest is all interpretation.
The rest is all, exactly. The rest is all interpretation. And really, we can't. I mean, I remember that as children, we would say, okay, we want to count the stars. And we would go to sleep while counting them, right? Because you just can't count them. And that's just a child's play. But even the serious astronomers and people who are looking through telescopes, every day they're discovering new worlds, new galaxies, worlds beyond worlds. And now they're saying that there are worlds that you cannot even reach, they're so far away and they're constantly emerging that you cannot keep count of them. So it's really interesting that astronomy, science, everything is kind of catching up to the mystical concept of infinity, that it's all infinite and you can't number it. Sasatara Kahan Kateba Aslu Iktat Lekha Hoy Ta Likhe Lekhe Hoy Vinas says that if you can count something that can be counted in numbers, but when you try to do that, you will perish. But what is out there you will not be able to quantify. You will, your days will end, but you will not be able to come to the end of what it is, because it is infinite. Lekha hoy ta likhe, lekhe hoy vinas, Nanak vadda aakhiye, ape jane aap. So this is the key thought, Nanak vadda aakhiye. All that you want to do is say, it's all wonderful, it's all vismat, it's beyond me, just sing the praises, just look at it all with eyes of wonder, with eyes of awe, and feel that love that comes from vismat, because love is born when you are in awe of something or someone and you see them as so much bigger than you, so much more than you, and just live in that wonder. Nanak vadda aakhi ape jane aap. At the end of it all, you'd say that's the Creator knows the infiniteness of the creation, and we cannot really fathom it at all. Shall I go on to the next one?
Sure.
Okay, so tied into this thought is, so what So what are we going to do when we really are a little speck and we cannot fathom the infinite vastness of the universe? All that we can do is praise. Salah hi salah. All that we can do is engage in praise, engage in chanting about it, just living in that knowledge of how small we are and how finite our reality is, how impermanent it is, ha admi ha ekdami. We just have this one breath that we can be sure of, and how vast and limitless and amazing the universe is. Salahi salaha eti surt na paiye. साला ही साला इतनी सुरत ना पाइए नदियाँ अतेवा पवे समुद्र ना जानिए. Guru Sahib is giving a very beautiful example here that all that you can do is praise Vaheguru Ji, praise the Akal Purakh. It's just like a river wanting to find its way to the ocean, right? And wanting to know the depth of the ocean. And then once it mingles with the ocean and it becomes the ocean, then where is the calculation? Can the river ever know the depth of the ocean? No, it can't. Because now it's beyond counting. Now the union has happened. Now the merger has happened. So Babaji says, look to that. Look to this, that is the goal, that is the purpose, and with great speed the rivers are trying to reach the ocean and then wanting to know the depth of the ocean. That's how we are as humans, that's how we are. But when we praise the Lord and when we keep our single-mindedness focused on this, that all that I want to do is I want to praise, I want to live in that wonder and vismad the consciousness of the limitlessness of the Creator and the universe. Then when I have the possibility of merging, just like the river does. Just like the ocean is full of pearls and jewels and all kinds of ratan, compared, but the Nadi doesn't know. So we don't know what is out there in the vastness of the universe. But compared to all the jewels and all the ratans and all the pearls and everything that are there in the ocean, they are not even an iota of the wonder and the glory and the jewels that are there in Akal Purakh. Nadiyan atewa pave samund na janiye. Samund Saha Sultan. The ocean is huge. It's like a king. The kings have these treasure chests. The kings own these huge countries. That's why they're called emperors, right? So you're a king and then you're even bigger, you're an emperor. And you own all this wealth. So it's like that. The ocean is, the Guru is referring to the ocean as this big emperor. And yet, who has all these treasures inside it, but it's like an ant compared to the vastness, the jewels, the joy that is there in Akal Purakh. This huge ocean that is like a huge emperor is nothing. It's like an ant. It's so, again, the comparison is that it's incomparable. The Guru's vastness.
I was interpreting it wrong, but I thought it said an ant
cannot fathom.
Remembers why everyone doesn't forget him. Is beyond all this wealth. I guess I was like,
well, Vijay, there can be.
All this wealth is nothing compared to the wealth of the Kiri who remembers Vaheguru. That's another
yeah. Kiri tul nahovni. I saw it as that is not like, I mean, the ant is so small, right? Kiri tul nahovni. Oh, Kiri varkan bhi nahi hai. Samundar de wealth, samundar de ratan, samundar de jwarat. Jo Vaheguru the greatness hai, And how can we who are like riverlets, even try to guess at what the fathom, or try to fathom.
Forgetting rather than understanding, right?
That's the key. That's the key.
That's where the glory lies.
That's where the key. So that is it. Jetis mano na visre. Just like in the last party, I think the end conclusion is tu vadda hai. You know, that's how we should live, in vismad, in gratitude, in awe. And here it is, kiritul nahoni, jetis mano na visre. All this wealth that is there in the ocean. You know, there is another reference here that we're all trying to gather material wealth, right? We're all attracted to it. Whatever we want more. Our appetites are insatiable. But once we get that wealth that comes from not forgetting, the rest of the material wealth is really nothing. So, you know, Gurbani as always is very highly nuanced, and it's very pithy, and there are so many layers and layers of meaning, and we can peel them, and we can, you know, whatever resonates with us in that moment, in that time of our life, or from different perspectives. Babaji is always talking about different perspectives. So the perspective here could also be that you know, you're so attracted to Ratan and Jawar, and it's this vast as the universe is, vast as the wealth that is contained in it is, vast as the wonder of it is, it's nothing. It's like an ant compared to the wonder of the creator of a Kalpurk. And then, and this line is so beautiful, Jetis manona visre, you will realize it only when you don't forget. And then the rest is that, you know, you die when you forget. You know, there are references to that I'm alive and awake only in as much as I remember you. You know, the line in Raharas, Akha jiva visre mar jaun. Jetis manona visre, I'm alive. Jetis manona visre, I'm cognizant. Jetis manona visre, I live in awe. Jetis manona visre, I become the recipient of all this amazing wealth. Jetis manona visre, I'm awake to what is out there, outside and within me, and within a Kalpurk. And if not, then, you know, then it's all worth nothing, and you can't calculate it because it's beyond calculation, it's beyond numbers, and all that you want to do is live in Sifat and Salaha. Vismad.
It's all about Vismad.
It's all about Vismad and surrender and awe and gratitude and glory and recognizing that. You know, there are lines in Gurbani that talk about Jagna. And you know, it's yes, we are all awake, our eyes are open, so we are awake, but we are asleep because our consciousness is asleep. You know, we're not awake to the reality, and so we may look like we are awake, but in fact we are not awake, and we are awake when we are awakened. Right, and that's when we are awakened. And Jetis manona visre, I think those are the lines, the last line in the last party, that recognize him, or not him, I don't use that pronoun anymore. Recognize the vastness of the Creator and the wonder, and live in that, and know that it's this energy, this spiritual force is way bigger than you. And then don't forget it. Remember, live in remembrance, because it's only in living in divine consciousness in everything you do is when you will feel enriched truly. And the rest is all going to be like a teeny tiny ant that, you know, that gets crushed under your feet.
It's still 11:15. Do you want to do another 40 also?
No, I think I'm done. I'm good. I think we can dwell upon this. I think everybody can talk about what it has meant to them.
When you talked about this thing where Maran Jina, like daily you die and daily you live, the two interpretations different people do about this. One is people die and live daily. When you remember, you're living. When you die, when you don't remember him, you die.
Yeah. And what are you dead to?
Yeah, and then some people will translate it as that Maran Jina is like cycle of life.
Yeah.
Which is the correct interpretation?
Depends on where it is, I guess. You know, Gurbani, the meanings change depending on the context.
Yeah, Jessi was saying sometimes the same line as multiple meanings.
Yeah.
Both of them are true.
In the context, right?
We go up and down spiritually and
Yeah.
literally, and then there's But Gurbani tells you, okay, if you're away from Vaheguru, you get into this Marna Jina, Avan Jana. So that can be both ways. That can be both. Dunya which Avan Jana, plus our mind is always rolling around between.
Right.
I
I love this line, and this has resonance in several others. Akhan Jivan Visre Mar Jaun. And you know why? I was just thinking, why do we die? We don't die. We've forgotten Vaheguruji. We don't remember Vaheguruji. And so why is Babaji saying Akhan Jivan Visre Mar Jaun?
We also talk about light and darkness.
Yeah, and Vijay, we're also talking about the fact that we are so dead to the essence, to the true essence of things, and we are so alive to everything else. It's about consciousness that he's referring to, not the body. It's about the consciousness that Vaheguruji is referring to, Gurbani is referring to. Akhan Jivan Visre Mar Jaun. We're all dead. And we're forgotten, but we're not even alive to the fact that we are dead. And eventually, by not being awakened, it'll be the death of the spirit. It'll be, what is death? There is no such thing as death according to Sikhi, right? Na kich janme, na kich mare. So it's the consciousness that's not going to evolve. It's the consciousness that's going to get all caught up in the wrong stuff. Vichaar has written a beautiful essay on happiness and suffering. And so when you forget, then you suffer, right? To me, that's what it means. Akhan Jivan Visre Mar Jaun, the whole world has forgotten. Everyone seems to be alive. So, but they are dead to their own potential, dead to who they are, dead to the essence, dead to the reality.
That doesn't mean death of the body.
I think, but see, we don't remember Vaheguruji all the time. The world doesn't, but they are not dead. No one's dead, right? People are prospering.
A couple of things. On your question, today's Harimandir that says about this thing. Guru Arjan Dev Ji is doing a prayer. In the end, it says, "Binwant Nanak Sharan Teri Rakh Leho Aman Chan." Okay, please save me from this cycle of
life and death,
transmigration. पर उस तो पहले ये last line है, पर उस तो पहले की क्या है, which is going to take you from there. कहते ने कि कर कृपा गुरपार ब्रह्म पूरे अंदिन नाम बखाना. Every day I should speak out your words. फिर की है अमृत बाणी उचरा हर जस मिठा लगे तेरा पाना. These are the things which is going to really take you from that. फिर अगे कहते ने कर दया मया, मेरे दे दया कर, have mercy on me, मेरे दे कृपा कर, गोपाल गोविंद कोई नहीं तुझ बिना, तेरे बगैर और कोई है नहीं. He is everywhere. फिर कहते ने समृद्ध अगत अपार पूरा, तन तन सब तुम मना, तन मन तन सब तेरा ही है. फिर कहते ने अब मैं कौन है कहना, इत्थे ये कहना मैं कौन है, तो फिर तू फिर इत्थे गल है कहते ने मैं मूर्ख मुगध अनाथ चंचल नीच अजाना बिनवंत नानक शरण तेरी रख ले हो आवन. सो किदे अगे असी अरदास करना पे हु इज गोइंग टू टेक दैट मतलब साडे ट्रांसमाइग्रेशन साडी खत्म होएगी, सानू देखना है समझ आएगी ये जीवन की है क्या. ये गुरु ने आज दे हरमंदर साहब दे हुकम ते इट्स ऑन पेज 543 should read that. अच्छा दूसरा जो है डेथ
people will translate this into again two ways. One is Avan Jana is daily Avan Jana or transmigration.
I think it's primarily transmigration.
Transmigration.
It can be both.
We live and die every day, and we die once for all. That's the death of the body. But every day, jada marna jeena mein, that is like conscious, like Jessi ji said that, So it's both.
I agree. I think there are multiple layers of meaning in on this poetry.
When you listen to katha by different people, everybody interprets it in a different way. That's why.
Based upon your state of mind, you can interpret in different way. So, just Anand Sahib again. Anand Sahib is spoken at the time of his birth, and is also spoken at the time of his death. Sadhe ghar de kane vyah hunda tad bhi de Anand Sahib pade janda. Death hundi hai, ko hunda tad bhi de. But both of them give you different meaning. So Bani is not really a poetry. It is as a word of God.
It is, but it's in poetic form.
Poetic form,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not a poetry of a
Yeah,
person.
yeah. It's a Turki Bani.
Yeah, that's the ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਨਾ. Sleep is a death from which we wake up, and death is a sleep from which we don't wake up. ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ sleep ਔਰ death ਦਾ ਕਈ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ
Equation ਹੈ.
ਇੱਕ ਕਬੀਰ ਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਕਬੀਰ ਸੂਤਾ ਕਿਆ ਕਰੇ, ਜਾਗ ਰੋਏ ਪੈ ਦੁੱਖ, ਜਾਕਾ ਬਾਸਾ ਗੋਰ ਮੈਂ, ਸੋ ਕਿਉਂ ਸੋਵੇ ਸੁਖ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੁਣ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ. ਗੋਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ grave. You are living in a grave. Kabir das saying, Kabir सूता क्या करे? Why are you sleeping? ये sleeping किसने किया? किसी अन्य ने. Kabir सूता क्या करे? जाग रोए पै दुख.
So here Sutta is either sleeping or dead. It's different.
Yeah.
अगली लाइन this है. जाका बासा गोर में, the one who is living in a grave. सो क्यों सोवे सुख. ग्रेव की है वो कहते हैं, you are living in a grave. Kabir Das is saying you are living in a grave. grave की है. grave ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ the person after he dies we put in the grave. grave doesn't move. grave stays in one way. grave की है मिट्टी. शरीर की है मिट्टी का बने. So Kabir Das ji कह रहे हैं, you are living in a grave. The body is a grave for you. बस फर्क है वो grave still रहती है. This grave is moving. It moves from here to there. जाका बासा गोर में बासा में. The one who is living in a grave. So क्यों सो सो. अच्छा हुन ए grave सिर्फ इतना फर्क है क्या? अच्छा हुन grave किस तरह है? ऐसे समझना पड़ेगा. grave की जाता है, शरीर जाता है. We are not शरीर. ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੰਦ ਹੈਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਮਨ ਤੂੰ ਜੋਤ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੈ, ਆਪਣਾ ਮੂੰਹ ਪਛਾਣ. ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜਿੰਦ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗ੍ਰੇਵ, ਇਸ ਗ੍ਰੇਵ ਚ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ. ਯੂ ਆਰ ਲਿਵਿੰਗ ਇਨ ਦਿਸ ਗ੍ਰੇਵ. ਸੋ ਯੋਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜਿੰਦ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਨ ਤੂੰ ਜੋਤ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੈ, ਇਟ ਇਜ਼ ਇਨ
Encased
in a grave. ਅੱਛਾ ਫਰਕ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੰਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਇਹ ਗ੍ਰੇਵ ਮੂਵ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਗ੍ਰੇਵ ਖਾਂਦੀ. ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗ੍ਰੇਵ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੰਦਾ ਖਾ ਵੀ ਲੈਂਦਾ, ਗਾ ਵੀ ਲੈਂਦਾ, ਪੀ ਵੀ ਲੈਂਦਾ, ਕੱਪੜੇ ਵੀ ਪਾ ਲੈਂਦਾ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ. ਪਰ ਉਸ ਗ੍ਰੇਵ 'ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਜਿੰਦ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਰੀਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਸ ਗ੍ਰੇਵ 'ਚ. ਸੋ ਕਬੀਰ ਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, we need to understand we are already living in a grave. ਔਰ ਗ੍ਰੇਵ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਬੜੀ ਡਰਾਵਨੀ ਹੈ. ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਬੀਰ ਦਾਸ ਨੇ ਸਮਝਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਕਬੀਰ ਸੂਤਾ ਕਿਆ ਕਰੇ, जाग रोए पै दुख, जाका बासा गोर में, सो क्यों सोवे सुख. The one who is living in the grave, उसे तो grave को पता जाना ही चाहता है, डर लगता है.
So I somehow I hear this as a dead consciousness, a consciousness that's not alive. That it's to me yeah, we are not yeah, there you go. The living in darkness, because the grave is dark. It's in the pit of the you go deep, right? But there's darkness, there's ignorance. You're dead. Your consciousness is dead. And Kabirji is telling you, wake up. When you are not awake to the divine, or when you don't have the divine consciousness, you're really living like a dead person, and there is no hope for you.
As you were saying earlier, you can interpret things in more than one way and they can all make sense.
Yeah, they can.
I would interpret it more like this. Darkness of ignorance.
Yeah. Because it's simple and it's like and yet it's so deep. Yeah. So many metaphors that point to that make things come alive for you in different ways. Tell us your viewpoint.
No, makes sense. I'm thinking about it and come back later.
Okay, yeah. All right. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.